What's up, everybody? So today we're going to be talking about cat converters, catalytic converters. We know them. Some vehicles have two, some vehicles have three, and even more complex systems have four. And your catalytic converter is a very essential part of your vehicle, which there's so many factors, but basically its primary function is to help our environment. Brings in exhaust, basically heats it up to a super hot temperature, then ships it back out. And the idea is when it gets back out of the other end of it, it's a little healthier. Not that sucking down exhaust is healthy, so to say. But so yesterday, one of the actually was on our fasting. We one of our guys, he definitely was wondering. He's got a little import, and that thing's got he's failing emissions in California, and he's trying to figure out how he can get through emissions without spending $5,000 on switching out his cats. So the premise of this, or how catalytic converter cleaner works, is basically it cleans everything. It doesn't just clean your catalytic converter. So I'm going to give you four. Basically, I looked up today, and one of them was one he already had, which was Clean. I went and talked to two exhaust people today that I know very well and are very well knowledgeable. Of course, they're always like, well, just throw it away and put a new one on. But if you had to, yes, it does work. So what they do is that when you put them and you add them to your fuel system, there's a fuel pumps through it, cleans out the entire thing. So the first thing it comes across is your injectors. And if you have clogged injectors, even a little bit of carbon buildup is what happens. It'll start causing your jet stream to either get a little too runny, it'll cut it off, or it'll cause it to just drop down too rapidly. Whatever, it'll mess up the spray pattern in the injectors. So the first thing it does is starts breaking down the carbon on the fuel injectors, which is awesome because that's half the battle as far as keeping your fuel mileage good and your power and everything smooth. All right, so as it sprays down, then it's going to come in contact with the valves. Now, if you ever taken the head off of a car that has nasty valves, you'll understand the value of this. So when cars with a lot of carbon buildup on them, I mean, they are just nasty on the inside. I mean, you can just, if you ever, I give you an example. If you ever go to, I think it might be Exxon when you're pulling up getting gas and you see, oh, this is our gas, and it shows you real pretty valves, and then the other people's gas, which is real nasty looking valves. Well, your valves are the other valves, the real nasty looking valves, what this is kind of for. And this stuff will because of its chemical makeup, it basically breaks down the carbon on the valves, which is good because the carbon can build up so thick on your valves that if some breaks loose, or it can start kind of messing up with the valve seat because it kind of spills over, and you start losing compression a little bit that way, which can be a performance issue. So this is now the second benefit of doing this, because it will clean your valves up real good. Also, it talks about cleaning up your piston crowns, which is the top of the piston. It eats the carbon off of it. And what their main ingredient, from everything I'm reading, is acetone, which I went ahead, because I am the car guy, the car man himself, I went ahead and picked up an O2 sensor. I got it in the shop on a project I'm doing right now, and actually has 4 O2 sensors. And so anyway, so this thing goes through the process. It hits the injectors, sprays on the valves, and then now it's going through the exhaust process. The exhaust valves open up, and poof, it comes out. Well, the first guy it runs across is this injector. This sensor. This is an O2 sensor. And this part of it, as you see, it's kind of screwed in. This part right here. If you get a lot of real sooty, bad fuel, whatever, it starts getting a lot of buildup on it. Someone's already cleaned this one, fortunately, but they start getting a lot of buildup on them, and then it starts throwing this sensor off. So a lot of people start picking up the P420 because the O2 sensor can't read the amount of oxygen that it's supposed to be reading, because this right here, you see these little perforated holes right there. See them? And so it should be monitoring, but it can't because this right here gets clogged up and then it renders this useless. So the next phase of this cat cleaner coming through is this first O2 sensor. Well, when it gets past this O2 sensor, then it drops down into the catalytic converter. Um, and inside the catalytic converters where all the magic starts to happen. So it'll run across its first one. Both banks are usually, the modern cars, both of them usually have one on each side of the bank. So it hits that bank, and that catalytic converter causes the heat to get really, really hot. And this acetone, that the main ingredient that's in this stuff, I would not put acetone alone in your car. It's blended with it in it. But this acetone reaches a temperature, and when it reaches a certain temperature, it allows more oxygen than regular fuel does. Ever how that works? I know I'm not a chemical engineer. I'm just telling you what I'm reading. So with that more oxygen, it allows the breakdown in carbon inside of the comb of the catalytic converter. Okay, which when you add more oxygen, it basically it burns up the carbon that's in there, so it can be shot out the exhaust to carry on down. Well, down past that pipe, it leaves the catalytic converter. Then you might have a lot of soot and everything going through the exhaust going through there, and all that hot air as it's leaving, it will have the ability to burn off more and more soot as it gets into the next cat. Well, when she enters the second cat and she sits there, some of these actually have it designed to where it'll kill that the raw egg smell, which is basically raw fuel that's left over in there. But it'll get that sulfuric smell out of it. But anyway, so it heats that one up, that one does it, and then eventually all this carbon gets shot out the tailpipe. And that, my friends, is how the design of the cat cleaner and how it works from beginning of inception inside your fuel tank, buzzing straight through your fuel injectors. So that's your first benefit right there. It's cleaning those injectors. The second benefit, it's cleaning the valves. The third is the piston crowns. The fourth is your O2 sensors. Fifth would be your first cat. Sixth would be your second O2 sensors. Next set of cat, and then your last O2 sensor. So there's a lot of benefits to this, plus all the exhaust in the middle. So this just allows your engine to run really clean and efficient. And I've talked to two exhaust guys today. I'm not an exhaust expert by any means, but in Northern Virginia, where we're at, they had put a sniffer up inside your car, and if you're failing emissions, this right here is a good viable option. Now, a failed cat is already failed. It's probably the combs that have probably collapsed, or they're so clogged that there's no way that you can actually do anything with it. But long story short, do I suggest it? Yeah. So let's talk about the ones that are out there. So we've got the first one we got is Cataclean, which is on all these right here. I'll put on my Amazon store, which you'll see a second whenever by tonight they'll all be on there as far as you can just touch them and go straight to them. But they got Solar It, Cataclean, OxyCat, and then High Gear Cat Cleaner. So there'll be four of them. But anyway, they all four basically have the common factor that they all use acetone as their base, and they can use them in any type of vehicle you're going to use. It doesn't matter if you put it inside of diesel, inside the flex fuel, regular 87, high boost. It doesn't really matter. So you're going to be covered with all of them as far as all that goes. So you can use it, use it, use it, use it. Anybody got any questions about cleaning your catalytic converters? Questions, questions, questions. No questions about your catalytic converter. Okay. All right. I'm going to write that down right here just because I'm going to note that I'm going to put these on there for later. All right. Meanwhile, what's going on in the car world today? Anybody got any car problems they need fixed? Any things in it? Needs any help with anything? Any suggestions y'all want to hear talk about tomorrow? I've got some stuff in mind tomorrow. I was going to talk to you about what was I going to talk to you tomorrow about? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I was actually going to talk to you about you know what, I might say this is a secret, but I'm thinking about how to sell a seller. I'm thinking I think that's a good one for you guys. I think that's a great because I had a guy. How he said, "How in the do you get these cars so cheap?" Yeah, that's a great question. But I get cars cheap no matter where I'm at, no matter where I'm buying them, because it's the method and how you buy them that's so important. It's more important than the actual car's value. It's the method behind the purchase and how you're dealing with the seller. And there's such a thing as called a reverse sell and all that. So when you're buying a car, if you want to save money, I would tune in tomorrow because I'm probably going to enlighten you, or if not enlighten you, maybe you can enlighten the old car man himself. I don't know. We shall see. Meanwhile, let's see what time we got. Okay, we're at 10 minutes now, and I don't have much time today because we're really, really busy. I got a project out there, but I try to get out here every day at 5 o'clock to share love. And hopefully, if it's your first time seeing, I would have really appreciated a subscribe if you could get it. For some reason, we've got about 30, I don't know, 30 something thousand people subscribed. I don't know. I guess it'd be about 1,000 a month usually, but it's nice to always get someone new to subscribe because then we got, just kind of growing the tribe a little bit. Also would like to encourage you anytime on the format. So we're on because I'm live now daily. Feel free to completely just jump in and whatever. I don't care what you got going on, what's in your brain. Hey, I did this, blah, blah, blah. I'm down with it. I am down with whatever you got going on, my brothers and sisters. And all the products that we're just talking about, I have an Amazon store, which after it takes a little while for this thing to go up on the system for us to edit it. So it'll be about 30 by 7-8 o'clock tonight. I'll be able to put these links so you can actually get this product for you. And check out our Amazon stores. I was getting into any of this cool stuff that we're running across. We put on our Amazon influencer store, which is so cool. To me, that is the coolest thing ever because y'all see my channel. I'm always talking about new stuff I'm finding and these cool products and how this works and how that works and blah, blah, blah. I'm just that guy. I love that stuff. So anytime I find something new and cool, I stick it in that store. So feel free to check it out. See what you think about it. Anything else? Yeah, Instagram. Got Instagram going on. If you guys are bored, Instagram's kind of a family kind of deal. Just part of the tribe. But just let me know how you feel and anything you want to talk about. And meanwhile, peace and love from the car man from the RVA. I will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock and again at 3:30, then 5 o'clock. 3:30 is fasting because that's what I'm doing. But until later, when I am on tomorrow at 3:30, I wish you peace and love and be safe and go fix your car or something for God's sakes. All right, see you guys. Peace.